Today, we're unsheathing our swords and learning the rules for the awesome cooperative card game Regicide Inferno. We're going to show you how you and your friends can team up to take down a corrupt monarchy one card at a time.
So in this game, you're not fighting against each other. You're comrades, allies on a noble quest. Your one and only mission is to defeat the 15 corrupted royals who have locked themselves away in the castle. Trust me, it's a real test of teamwork and strategy.
And the stakes here, they are crystal clear. You've got to defeat every single enemy, but you also have to protect each other. It's all or nothing. You either win together or you all fall together. Simple as that.
Okay, so how do you even prepare for a battle this epic? Well, the setup is actually super straightforward, and it's designed to get you right into the action.
It's just a quick 4-step process. First, you gather up all the jacks, queens, and kings. They become the castle deck you'll be fighting. Everything else becomes the tavern deck, which is where you get your heroes. Then you flip over the first enemy, deal out the cards, and just like that, you're ready to go.
So let's take a look at what you're up against. Every enemy has 2 key numbers you've got to watch. Their health, which is how much damage you need to deal to beat them, and their strength, which is how hard they hit you back if you fail. And believe me, these numbers get pretty scary the deeper you go.
All right, let's dive into the real heart of the game, your turn. This is where you and your allies bring the fight to the enemy, and it all follows a really clear structure.
Every single turn breaks down into these 4 phases. You form your attack, you cast spells, you deal damage, and then you face the music, either taking a hit yourself or hopefully celebrating a defeated foe. Let's break each of those down. So your turn kicks off with a big decision. How are you going to strike? You'll play 1 or maybe more cards from your hand to declare an attack, and this single choice sets up everything else that's about to happen. And that brings us to a really crucial idea: attack strength. It's super simple. You just add up the numbers on the cards you played. This total is the key to your whole turn. It's going to determine how powerful your spells are and, of course, how much damage you're about to unleash.
Now for the really fun part, the class abilities. See, if you played heroes with special skills, this is when you get to use their awesome effects, and these can totally change the tide of battle. First up, let's look at the spellcasters.
The mage is basically your scout. Playing 1 lets you peek at some cards from the top of the tavern deck and pull 1 right into your attack. This can boost your strength or maybe even add another hero's power to the mix. It's a great little surprise.
Then you've got the cleric, who is literally the healer for your deck. They let you take a bunch of cards from the discard pile based on your attack strength and shuffle them right back into the tavern deck. This is absolutely vital for recycling your best heroes so you can draw them again.
And who could forget the inspiring bard? When you play a bard, they rally the whole team. Every single player gets to draw cards from the tavern until their hand is full again. It is a fantastic way to keep everyone topped up and ready for whatever's coming next.
Okay, after all your spells go off, it's the moment of truth. You deal damage equal to your final attack strength. Simple, right?
Well, there's one class that messes with this step directly, the warrior. If a warrior is part of your attack, you double the damage. That's right, double. So an attack strength of, say, 8 suddenly becomes a massive 16 points of damage. These are your heavy hitters for sure.
But what happens if your big attack isn't quite enough to finish the enemy off? Well, now you gotta brace for impact, because the enemy always hits back. So if that enemy is still standing, you suffer damage. This means you have to discard cards from your hand that add up to the enemy's strength value. And this can be totally devastating, wiping out your best cards right before your next turn. Luckily, you have a defender for this exact situation, the Paladin. If you played a Paladin, you get to subtract its value from the enemy's strength before you take damage. They're like a living shield, weakening the enemy's counterattack for everyone until that foe is finally defeated.
Now, once you've got the hang of playing single cards, you can start to unleash some even more powerful combos by grouping your heroes together for one massive combined attack.
This is called a kinfolk attack, and it's a game changer. Instead of just 1 card, you can play a bunch of cards that have the same number, like 2 5s or 3 8s. You just combine their values for a huge boost to your attack strength. And the best part? You get to use the class abilities of every single card you played.
This is what I'm talking about. Look at the power of a kinfolk attack. For example, you could play 3 3s at once. Individually, they're not much, but together, bam! They become a single attack with a strength of 9. That's strong enough to put a real dent in a tough enemy.
So, after all the battles are fought, the spells are cast, and the damage is dealt, how does this whole epic quest finally end? Well, it all comes down to one of two outcomes. Victory is absolute. You have to defeat all 15 enemies to cleanse the castle. But defeat is a constant threat. If any single player can't play a card on their turn or can't discard enough cards to absorb an attack, the entire party goes down. Everybody loses together. And that's how you play Regicide Inferno. It is a game of careful planning, smart collaboration, and knowing the perfect moment to strike that final blow. The fate of the kingdom is officially in your hands. Good luck.